Hey, bro, they have on that website. This is the national identification card you have, but they also have a right to travel card on that website, and that card costs you $50, right? The driver's license from the state of New Jersey costs you $24, and it's good for 3 years. Now, with the driver's license, as long as you keep it in good standing for 3 years, you straight. You go out there with that right to travel card from Rvbey Publications, you're going to get arrested as soon as you walk out the door.
The TSA may soon reject driver's license as identification from major states in the U.S. because they don't pass the Real ID law. Now, the Real ID law, or the Real ID Act, passed back in 2008. However, there have been a number of delays in actually enforcing it. And now, beginning in the new year, TSA agents and governmental officials claim that they're going to start implementing it, and they're going to start rejecting driver's licenses from very specific states. And I'll tell you which states they are in just a second. But here's more about the law. The Real ID law requires states to implement certain security features before they issue IDs, and also verify the legal residency of anyone to whom they issue an ID card. So, from personal experience, if you're from California, you go to the DMV, you fill out a form indicating where your address is, and then boom, they send you a driver's license. Well, apparently that's not good enough for the government. They want to ensure that there's some verification that that address is real. The Real ID also requires states to share their databases of driver information with other states. The information sharing provisions are a big reason why some privacy groups oppose the law, saying it would effectively be the equivalent of a national identification card.
I'm probably missing something, but I actually don't mind a national identification card.
I don't either. I'm trying to figure out why that's such a terrible thing. I don't think that it is.
Stop right there, brother. Corey Gaines did it. That's what you said. Let's look at this one more time.
Stops a person, whether you call them citizen or not, stops a person and asks that person, where is their license?
Do you have a delegation of authority order?
Any driver's license of the person should also ask them, who is your delegation of authority order?
Do you have a delegation of authority order?
Any driver's license of the person should also ask them, who is your delegation of authority order?
So how do we escape that? We can't get
Can I say something real quick? These people are so that you know what their delegation of authority is?
The Constitution.
The badge in the uniform that they got on. The badge in the uniform that they got on. The badge in the uniform that they got on.
Also, it looks like a cop car, and the Albuquerque man who drove it claimed he was a cop. But last night, he made a major mistake. Good evening. Guns, vests, and a car rigged with emergency lights. He had everything he needed to be a cop.
There's just one problem. He is not a cop. So you can imagine it did not go over very well when he tried to pull over an undercover sheriff's deputy. Here's News 13's Ian Schwartz.
Dick, we talked to the man's stepfather tonight, and it's apparent his stepson always wanted to be a cop. Well, now he knows what it's like to ride in a real cop car. Unfortunately, he had to do it in the back seat with cuffs on. This is what's left of the fake patrol car after deputies stripped it.
He made us believe that he was a police and had his lights flashing often in the front of the house.
Deputies say 35-year-old Orlando Jaramillo had it customized, running up a tab of more than $20,000 with a local company that outfits real cop cars by fooling them into believing he was with the sheriff's department.
You know what their delegation of authority is?
The Constitution.
The badge in the uniform that they got on.
When Jaramillo didn't pay up, the owner called BCSO and found out that Jaramillo was a phony. His first big mistake, he used his real name and his real address. Deputies started watching Jaramillo, even watched him turn his police lights on so he could speed past traffic and through a red light. Then they lost him. Yesterday, they followed him again, and he did it again. But this time, deputies also had someone in an unmarked car who deliberately sped past Jaramillo, and the phony lawman took the bait. Jaramillo, who was pretending to be a deputy, actually chased the real deputy and pulled him over. The criminal complaint says Jaramillo then came to the deputy's window, flashed a state police badge, and then flashed a loaded gun. Jaramillo's neighbors say they're not surprised.
And tried to be like the hero in the neighborhood. Whenever there was chaos or someone breaking into a car, he tried to play it off like he had everything under control.
In the criminal complaint, the undercover deputy said he felt very threatened by the way Jaramillo showed his gun, and that if he didn't have backup right there, he might have shot Jaramillo. Back to you.
Okay, Ian, deputies found guns, ammo, bulletproof vests, and tasers in Jaramillo's car in his home. He is still behind bars tonight, charged with fraud, false imprisonment, and aggravated assault with a deadly weapon.
When they walk up and they have that badge, whether if they work for the county, that's the sheriff they represent the sheriff who has delegated and commissioned them to represent him as a deputy of law. Everyone commissioned by the sheriff under his authority is a deputy working off of his authority. And then if you're a city cop, everyone has been given authority through the mayor and been commissioned through the commissioner who's appointed by the mayor. So their delegation of authority is the badge.
Later, I'm at 45th and Washington.
New tonight at 10, here's a look inside the car of an accused fake cop, outfitted to look just like a police cruiser.
The irony in this case, Robert Montoya was arrested after trying to stop an undercover officer.
And we've uncovered this isn't the first time his car looked an awful lot like a cop car.
7 News reporter Sally Mamdou is live. And Sally, police say he did a good job trying to look like a real cop.
That's right, Eric, and we're right here where he was busted or pulled over, right here at Park Avenue and Blake Street, where this man right here, Robert Montoya, was pulled over for trying to pull over a real cop while riding in his fake car. It takes one to know one.
The vehicle itself, from the exterior to the interior, mimicked an actual police car.
But Denver PD Commander Paul Payson says his detective riding in his undercover car knew this police car lookalike trying to pull him over wasn't the real thing. So he radioed in for help.
Hey, police impersonator, I'm at 45th and Washington. Can I get a cover car this way?
The car is later stopped here. Police found that behind the fake car is wannabe cop Robert Montoya, who police say probably spent a ton of money trying to turn his gray Impala into an unmarked police car.
We were astonished to see the lengths that this individual had taken to try to replicate what it is that a police car would look like.
And we found this wasn't Montoya's first time playing cop. In 2009, he was ticketed in Adams County for driving with illegal emergency lights and an expired license plate. He pleaded guilty to the expired plates, so the DA dropped the other charge. We tried to get answers from Montoya, but no one answered at his apartment. Some of his neighbors, too scared to talk on camera, told us even they thought he was an undercover cop and have seen him carrying a taser and a gun. It's why police are glad it's game over.
He had bad luck as far as choosing a vehicle to pull over, and our luck couldn't have been better.
Now Montoya's car that you're looking at right now won't be on the road anymore, all thanks to a city ordinance that allows for cars that are seized in cases like this to be called a nuisance and destroyed. Now police have a message for concerned residents that are watching our story tonight. If you're driving on the road and you get pulled over, or you're being pulled over by an unmarked vehicle and you're feeling a little suspicious, just stop at a well-lit parking area and dial 911 to verify with the dispatcher that the person pulling you over is indeed a real cop. For now, we're live in Denver. Sally Mamdou, 7 News.
That's their credential right there. The badge that they're given when they're sworn in and commissioned into office.
I'm glad we're on this.
Once you get where you know what the game is and how they play the game, you will they don't know much. They don't got much game. We didn't give them much. Okay? You're dealing with 360 degrees of data. They're only working with 33 degrees or 33 degrees of information. They don't have much game. They use the same game, tweak it a little, and make you think it's a new game. But when you get where you know how they operate, you know their modus operandi or their method of operation, you always see the same thing going on over and over again. And the people keep falling for it repeatedly because they don't know what they're looking at, because they don't know how this creature plays the little bit of 33 degrees of game they got.